We often view the rise of empires and the birth of civilizations as a vast, enduring timeline. Compared to the actual age of the Earth, however, this entire history spans only a tiny fraction of the whole. Radiometric dating shows the Earth is roughly 4.54 billion years old. Our brains struggle to visualize a number that large. The sheer scale of the zeros makes the data difficult to process. We can shrink the planet's history into a 24-hour clock. Every hour represents 190 million years, and every second equals 52,000 years. If the clock starts at midnight, humans only appear at the very end. Our entire existence occupies just the last 6 seconds. To understand why our modern impact on the planet is so significant, we have to look at the immense stretches of time required to build the world that we recognize. At midnight, the clock begins with a hostile, swirling ball of molten rock and gas, taking shape in the early solar system. Just 3 minutes later, a Mars-sized planet named Theia strikes the young Earth. The impact blasts molten debris into space, forming the Moon. It takes another 100 million years for the surface to cool enough for vapor to condense. Only then do the first rains fall, filling the basins that become the oceans. By 3:55 a.m., the first signs of life appear in those dark, salty waters. These are simple, single-celled prokaryotes that survive entirely on chemical energy. Life remains in this state for hours. It isn't until 9:44 a.m. that cyanobacteria arrive, able to manufacture energy directly from sunlight. This photosynthetic process releases oxygen as a byproduct. Over eons, this gas fills the atmosphere and forms the ozone layer, creating a shield against the sun's ultraviolet rays. Without this chemical transformation, which occupied billions of years, the planet's surface would have remained sterilized by radiation, making complex life impossible. In the early afternoon, cells develop a central nucleus, allowing them to eventually form specialized tissues for movement and digestion. At 9:18 p.m., the Cambrian Explosion begins. In a rapid sequence of events, animals develop complex body plans, featuring complex eyes, sharp new teeth, and protective shells. Life then moves onto land in a quick succession of steps. Plants take root at 9:31 p.m., followed by crawling arthropods and the first winged insects. By 10:21 p.m., reptiles develop dry skin and hard-shelled eggs. This allows them to migrate away from the water and permanently settle in dense inland forests. At 10:47 p.m., the dinosaurs emerge. They maintain total dominance over the land, sea, and sky for the next 50 minutes. At 11:39 p.m., a colossal asteroid blocks out the sun, destroying the global food chain and wiping out the mighty dinosaurs. This extinction cleared the way for small, warm-blooded mammals. In the final 20 minutes of the day, these survivors grew larger brains and diversified to fill every available ecosystem. We are now in the final minute of the day. At 11:59 and 12 seconds, our tool-making ancestors, the genus Homo, arrive. Modern humans, Homo sapiens, do not appear until the clock reaches 11:59 and 54 seconds. Our entire 300,000-year existence is compressed into these final 6 seconds.
In a 4.5 billion year story, our entire existence as a species happens in just the last 6 seconds. Every discovery of fire, every cave painting, the invention of language, the whole shebang, it all fits right here.
But wait, it actually gets even crazier. Look at the final fraction of the absolute last second. At exactly 11:59, 59 seconds, and 0.077 milliseconds, humans figure out agriculture and build permanent cities. At 0.995 milliseconds, the Industrial Revolution kicks off. Think about that. Everything from the first written Sumerian clay tablets to the electricity powering the screen you're looking at right now, all of human civilization happened in a microscopic fraction of a single millisecond. Because our development in those final milliseconds has been so incredibly rapid and transformative, scientists are currently debating whether to officially declare a brand new geological epoch called the Anthropocene. Now, this debate centers neutrally on the data showing that human activity has become the dominant influence on the Earth's climate, atmosphere, and ecosystems. We are fundamentally altering the planet's systems in a remarkably short amount of time.
Now, what's really interesting here is the sobering mathematical contrast. The coal, oil, and limestone we rely on today took literally millions of years to form from ancient forests and prehistoric marine plankton. Yet we are extracting and burning through these ancient geological savings accounts in mere milliseconds on our cosmic clock. And the immense energy we've extracted in that tiny, tiny sliver of time is putting massive pressure on our climate and ecosystems. We've achieved unbelievable, quite frankly miraculous things in our brief 6 seconds on Earth, but we are also leaving an impact faster than anything this planet has ever seen. The Earth took 4.5 billion years to build this beautifully balanced home. If we want to keep writing the story of humanity, we're the ones who have to step up and protect this incredible legacy. We only have a few seconds on this clock, so how will we spend them? Take a moment to really reflect on that, and let me know which part of Earth's 24-hour day completely blew your mind the most. Thanks for joining me on this explainer. Keep learning and keep asking big questions.